Mosaic Learning Society was a special place for all the learners, staff, and parents that were involved with it. It changed lives for the better. It offered an alternate choice for learning, a homeschooling program for kids on the autism spectrum, along with social skills, life skills, and daily outings. It covered elementary, middle, and high school levels in one center. The learners had choices, and it led to collaborative projects such as the making of the film REMEMMOS Wagon Fury. It came to be from parents who were looking for a different learning environment for their kids. Public school was such a struggle for some of the kids, and they were needing a smaller scale place to learn. It was an outstanding and accepting place. The staff knew autism with all the gifts and challenges. The kids could just be themselves. No need to fit into a classroom as a square peg in a round hole. The focus was on the learner's strengths, and the results were amazing. And speaking of amazing, this is the story on how Mosaic began. It started in September 2009 in a rented part of the Esquimalt United Church in Victoria, BC. There were just a few learners at the time, with only junior and senior group rooms.
The first location was at the United Church in Esquimalt, and I liked it because it was our first year and our first opening, and it was set up very differently, right? Junior room, senior room, big rooms, but I liked it.
But it grew from there. They moved into a house the next year with many rooms for one-on-one interaction with the students.
I really liked the house location. It felt like a perfect little small location.
Blue-green was quite good. I feel like Blue-green could be like the best location in a certain context, because again, I love that place because it had like this media room. And there isn't a single media room in the Mosaic that was last used.
I really like the house. The house, I still remember as it was when I first joined. And the last time that I ever stepped in the building. It had like that little deck, and then you had the front door that you'd have to drive, that little playground, you'd go around, and there was like a little loop-de-loop, and you'd walk down the front door. And they had it downstairs.
The house was cool, and so was the next house. But again, it was kind of neat that we were growing so fast that it didn't work, and we needed something bigger. So in a way, that was kind of cool.
They moved a couple more times before settling into a building on Tillicum Road that was perfect for the needs of the learners. This is on traditional Songhees land as much as Victoria, BC is. As it turns out, many of the values that the Songhees First Nations had for raising children mine our philosophy that Mosaic had for teaching as well.
I embraced the learning style, and I think it worked. We had a lot of successes with our learners at Mosaic.
I think it was really good compared to, what public schools just kind of teach the same thing to all the kids and don't really accommodate learning style to children's needs. And I think Mosaic did really well with teaching each individual kid differently to their needs. And so I think that's what's helped them grow so much.
It was really fun. I like that sometimes we'd be one-on-one. I guess in my personal opinion, I found it really easy. And it just kind of wasn't like a big room where you'd feel anxious about everything that you did. It would rather just be a one-on-one. So it was more direct in a way. And you got more help because it was one student rather than 30 other students in a classroom and the one teacher who has to go through every single student. I found that to be a lot better.
Learning style, pretty chill. It was like chill, but like a little rush, but like chill. Like there was like some moments like you have to do this like very quickly or like a due date. But like most of the time it's like chill. I like that.
It always was good. It was great. I learned a lot from my old school. I didn't learn a snitch from my last school. But Mosaic, it was good.
The learning style Mosaic provided. I think that the learning style Mosaic provided was very different from what I grew up with as a kid. And being that it was so different, I took a little bit to understand what Mosaic's learning style was. And I think that after, the first month or two, I figured out what that learning style was and how to deliver the knowledge I had to the students in that learning style. And once I was able to deliver the material in that way to the students, they were able to connect with the material I wanted them to understand.
A lot of different schools and stuff, they kind of teach in one way and you have to conform to that way, but at Mosaic, if we found something wasn't working, then we were more able to change what we were doing to better suit the learners and to make it a good learning experience for them. So
I really liked the learning style, and it was really neat because I learned a lot too. I got to learn with the learners. I didn't have to know everything when I went in. We could learn things together.
They even offered an amazing drama program that led to sold-out shows at the Metro Theatre in Victoria, BC, and an art program that created true admiring artists. They even put together and produced future films such as Mad Miles Wagon Fury.
Mad Miles Wagon Fury. Mad Miles Wagon Fury. Mad Miles Wagon Fury. Mad Miles Wagon Fury.
Which was both collaborative and inspiring for the learners that were involved with that project.
When you get a ball of clay, nobody knows what you're going to do with that ball of clay. But you have an idea in your head what you're going to do with that ball of clay. And sometimes I might ask for advice on what to do with that ball of clay as we mold it into something great. Some people will just throw that ball of clay. Some might use it to balance a table. But others might get the idea. I could make a pot out of that. A pot, as in a vase. And there's going to be others that are going to say, well, I could make something else out of this ball of clay. And that's kind of how I see the students at Mosaic. You can each be made into something great. Look at what the students were able to do approximately 1 year ago in making a Mad Miles film. That was about a 1 hour film that went into so much detail and plot development, characters, action sequences, betrayals, animated sequence, special effects, a lot of stuff that I wouldn't have thought that the Mad Miles film was going to become, but it did become much more than that, because they took their own little ball of clay and they stretched it out and changed it and added some coloring dye to it and a few special effects and made it into something of their own creation that they had sitting up here. And I sort of can't wait to see what some of these teenagers are going to do when they become young adults.
All of us pretty much, while we're in the lunchroom usually, we'll add an idea, then somebody else will add an idea, and it just goes on from there. And then, I'm planning to alter everybody's ideas into the script somehow. Then sometimes I'll give tips, say it might be over the top of it. One of our cast members suggests Miles gets eaten by the sofa, I'm just a bit too over the top.
We were pushing you down the hill with it in a wagon, and I guess somebody said that we were just thinking Mad Max, and somebody said, hey, why don't we make a movie? And we just kind of yeah, Josh will be the cameraman, and I'll help out.
Don't let your kids...
Mosaic was known for their celebrations and great field trips which most public schools did not offer. A highlight was a day trip to Vancouver, BC in 2011. They even did outings such as the Luxton Fair, laser tag, gymnastics, golfing, and even swimming every Friday.
Laser tag. Laser tag was awesome. And then we'd go for Slurpees. I think that's how you say it. Slurpees, yeah, we'd go for that.
I always enjoyed at the end of the year playing outside laser tag with you guys, and that being a huge competition between everybody and really getting into it. That was a lot of fun. So I still talk about that to this day with people and tell people like, you know, about playing laser tag outside, and people are like, wait, you can play laser tag outside? And I'm like, yeah, I got to do that at work. How great is that?
There was a focus on amazing art, which was taught to the special group with spectacular results. It made them appreciate art in a whole new way. There was always rich experiences for them to enjoy, and over the years, as they grew up, things changed and accommodated their interests as they moved into the high school years.
I don't know if I can think of anything specific, but over the years I've really enjoyed watching all the students grow and become new people than, you know, what they started out as, and how Mosaic has just helped them so much with their education and development. It's really special for me to see.
I was surprised at how polite children were. Everyone said thank you to us like really politely, and I was shocked how polite you guys were.
I think what I'm always going to remember is just the friendly kids. And so at lunchtime when they'd be walking past us and doing weird things sometimes, or doing chores or whatever, and people are always laughing and joking or doing memes or whatever, but it was always so friendly and happy, and that's what I'm going to remember. Anytime we had a party was a great memory. When there was the music going, we had the DJ there, and all the fun and the food was really good memory. And whenever anyone graduated, that was a really special memory too.
You know, it's always the people who always are friendly. Like, the first time I came there, I was like a mess. I didn't talk to anyone. I was not that talkative before. Yeah, but I changed now.
The Halloween parties. I was also going to the Luxton Fair, and there's just so many funny little excerpts that happened at Mosaic. I remember Jake's dancing, and I also remember a lot around the Mad Miles Wagon Fury, and when we did the big showing of it too. So.
On June 15th, 2017, Mosaic closed its doors for good. The legacy of Mosaic will be the social connection between the learners and staff, and also the freedom given to those who were lucky to be part of it. Whether it was the production of the feature film, Mad Miles Wagon Fury, the epic parties with DJ Launchstar performing, the crazy lunches, or the morning announcements, there was great memories that will last a lifetime.
When I even think of Mosaic now, I have really fond memories and really good thoughts about it. So I think I'm always going to have a really warm feeling about it and really great memories.
I definitely will remember it for its awesome lunch times, the crazy lunch times. I'll never forget those times. Or the crazy outings that we go on, or the crazy things that happen. I'll never forget it.
Particularly, I will remember it simply because we all are meme machines. Because we can all have our very, like, these things that we pass around from person to person. Like, I could bring in a new meme, Dan could bring in a new meme, even Josh here could bring in a new meme.
My best memory, that was probably the first time I went bike riding with Janice. That was lots of fun. It was a bit of a long start getting there, but eventually we got to Maddox Farm and it ended up being great.
I also love that one time we broke out into All-Star at Fort Rod Hill.
I'll remember Mosaic as a place that gave me many challenges. No secret to anybody that Mosaic has a lot of kids and a lot of adults, and they're all a little different than each other, but I think that's a good thing too. I've been in places where a lot of people try to act the same, all try to fit in, and I find that a little bit boring sometimes. I will remember about Mosaic is that there were unique qualities and traits about each of those students that stood out to me, so I could connect with these students on a one-to-one basis and not make the same general phrase to each student and expect them all to say the same answer.
It was the best years I've ever had, and I feel very fortunate to have been a part of it and been part of your guys' lives and learning. and it will always be a very, very special memory that I value, and the kids gave me so much joy that they'll probably never even know how much they enriched my life.
Thank you to Mosaic and everyone involved in bringing such a special and unique opportunity for all of us.
I just wanted to thank Mosaic for everything that it brought. I don't think I'd be the person where I am right now if it wasn't for Mosaic, so thank you. I really do mean it.